name is Hershey Burnett, and this is my war story. I can remember at the age of 4, right before I was supposed to start school, first I found a loaded gun in the house and nobody there, unsupervised. I shot myself. Mother and father, drug addicts, mother on heroin, and once I was laying in the bed, asleep, while they were having a party, and my mom came in the room and hit me in the head with something. I don't know what it was, but I know it put a big gash in my head, and I started to scream. That was nothing out of the ordinary, though. I would always feel like it was okay for me to steal from other kids. I guess I was kind of that kid that, you know, when they say go get the worst one you can find and bring him over, that was me, you know, that's when you would come and get Hershey. And I started to make really bad decisions. I became rather violent. I was so used to rejection to the point that when people came to me and they, you know, said, let's go and do this, I go do it. Actually started out, I guess, in what we would call today beast mode. They would have me riding around on bicycles with sawed-off shotguns. I guess I always looked younger than I actually was, so I could kind of slide under the radar where the police were concerned. They wouldn't come and say anything to me. We were going on crime sprees nightly, often violent, being involved in a robbery. A guy couldn't hear, and when I walked up to him and told him to get on the ground, he started to run, pointing the gun at him and squeezing the trigger, and God didn't allow the gun to go off. An uncle that I had, I used to see him jump on my mother, and I grew up with a hatred for him because he would also beat me. I was like 19 years old, and it wound up escalating to the point of my stabbing him, and I went to prison. I went to get my GED. Another program that they were starting at the time, the PIC program, so they automatically sent us to work release, and we were supposed to go to school and learn a trade. Again, the enemy seized opportunity to step in and steal my seed. He used a counselor to ask me as I was waiting for school to start, did I want to work until school started? And I said yes. So she hooked me up with Danny Owens. He just started to ask me, you want to make extra money? I found myself going to deal with people that owed money or that were his rivals in the topless club industry. I didn't have a sense of feeling remorse for what I did to others. I got locked up in 1994. I got out of prison, and so I left town. I wound up just passing through, and I moved to Nashville, wound up in prison there. But I got through doing my time in Nashville and moved back to Memphis. I was at a temporary service down on Lamar one day, and I happened to look at the little bulletin board with the number for the Warrior Center on it. And I can remember the first time I called, I talked to David Vincent. When I told him where I was, he was like, don't move. They're coming to get you. So when I walked in this place and people started to immediately come to me and ask me, do I need clothes? Am I hungry? And all these things, I can remember thinking, something wrong with these people. They strange. I mean, I don't have money. I don't have family. So what else do I have other than faith? I wish I could say that everything took root and worked perfectly after that. But he never gave up on me. When I would call, he would be there. I heard a voice in my head, and it was my own voice is what was so humorous about it, saying, "Hershey, honor your commitment." I started to view it as him showing me how the men and women of that time pressed in and they seeked him, and by them doing so, it would activate his word in their lives. I made up my mind at that time that that's what I wanted to do. I ended up working as a help staff member. Today, my job is to screen the men and see who we can help. I'm truly thankful today for all that God has done for me. Today, my life is not perfect, but it's better than it's ever been. And it's all because He first loved me. My name is Hershey Burnett, and that's my war story.